Half a day Guam, and welcome to a special edition of Island Images. It was 73 years ago when the devastation of World War II touched the shores of Guam. Our beautiful island became a war zone, and island residents suffered through years of atrocities. Mr. Gregorio Tenorio, a survivor, shares his story.
On December 7, I was already 11 years of age when they first attacked Guam on. My experience on that thing, my family and I got to church early in the morning. We got the 5 o'clock mass, we finished that, and then we returned home. And then that important day is usually the biggest celebration and for the Catholic people of Guam. And I was already home. In fact, I was at the house on it. And when the first experience, so the fighters are coming from the east, and we all expected it's American defense, but then we found out it wasn't, because until the very first bomb that was dropped in PD on that oil tank, then they started to declare that the United States have declared war with Japanese. Then they sound the siren over here, the power plant of Guam, giving the people alert of shelter. The word that was passed on to all the people, as far as you can pass it on one another, to run for shelter and run up to the hill. So the closest hill that we ran into is right here in Fort Pugan. For many of us people in Ghana, when the Japanese landed in Ghana, that's where they land, in Ghana, and spread out from there on. Then they start making connection to the people that ran away from Ghana to come forward and let the Japanese, preach us what they expect from us and what we should expect from them. The first thing that I remember for every citizen of Guam is we were issued a badge saying that you have already registered, the Japanese know that you are there and you are alive.
Over time, many Chamorros were put to hard labor, while young children were forced to attend Japanese school. Young men and women found capable to work in the fields were ordered to work to provide for Japanese soldiers.
They start getting the majority of us to go to work on NAS Ghana with our bare hand to start clearing the place and picking up the rocks to get the runway ready for the Japanese to land on. In our ranch over, they expect us to collect and give them at least 3 to 5 dozen or more of eggs every day. Anything that we gathered from the ranch, they expect us, they want us to give to them.
In fear for their lives, many Chamorros, like Mr. Tenorio, did what was demanded of them, though it was sometimes difficult to understand their orders.
The language barrier that we don't know what they wanted us to do and then what we expect them to tell us is two different things. It's very important. The communication is so poor. They don't tell you that. They push you with bare bayonet, and you don't do what they want right away. They push you or slap you in the face. And we don't expect that. We don't see that kind of treatment because we don't grow up with that kind of experience.
After 3 years of hardship, on July 21st, 1944, American forces began the battle to liberate Guam. Though confined to the concentration camp in Menengan, Mr. Tenorio recalls the moment he came face to face with a U.S. Marine.
And this guy came down to deliver the message, and I personally talked to this one Marine on it. I looked at him because I was up on the tree climbing to seek for fruit. I looked down there and he kept waving at me with a finger, and I can't make out because the camouflage fatigue is so unusual, and I don't know how American looked like with it. So he's waving my finger down there, and every time he waved the finger, he told me to shut up, come down there and shut up. So I make it down there, and then when I start talking to him, the first thing he asked me, do you speak American? Yes, I do. He says, okay, how many Japanese in the compound? Nobody. Okay, so this is what this guy told me personally. He said, go tell your family to pack up and ready to leave here in a matter of hours. Take the most important thing with you because we're going to march you to the safe place.
It's been said time and time again that you never know where you're going until you know where you have been. For Mr. Tenorio and survivors like him, their stories of war, peace, and prosperity are the foundation of what makes our island great. Guahu si Colleen Nicholas Perez, Ginin Hamini Joint Region Marianas Public Affairs, Dunklo na si Zeus Mahasi. Adios, Guahan.